Two Tennessee lawmakers, State Senators Ramesh Akbari and London Lamar, are demanding transparency after National Guard members fatally shot Black 20-year-old Tyron Johnson in Memphis. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigations is reviewing the incident, which authorities say began when Johnson allegedly pointed a gun during a foot chase. And LA County officials are investigating possible leaks in the murder case against singer David, real name David Burke. The probe centers on whether autopsy details were improperly released before becoming public. Get BIN News now, on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Then hear us on WBOK1230.com.
Late nights in New Orleans. Some voices entertain the city. Some voices changing. You already know who on the air tonight. Gerod. Gerard on the radio. Whole city vibing slow. Late night lights in New Orleans glow. Everybody listen close. Gerard on the radio. Truth in the speakers for sure. From the bayou streets to the corner store. Whole city locked in. French Quarter nights with the rain coming down. Whole city talk, but the truth stay underground. Funny how the silence break whenever he speak. Certain conversations never make the TV. Voice through the speakers got the whole city tuned. Higher ups nervous every time he hit the room, cause he say what the people been feeling for years, bringing light to the stories they don't want us to hear. From the uptown lights to the night war pain, every word hit different when it cut through the rain. Everybody know the truth, you never said aloud, till Gerard hit the airwaves and it shook the whole town. And the streets keep calling through the static in the night. Every word feel different when Gerard go live. Gerard on the radio. Whole city vibing slow. Late night lights in New Orleans glow. Everybody listen close. Gerard on the radio. Truth in the speakers for sure. From the bayou streets to the corner store. Whole city locked in. Streetcars roll while the city stay awake. Everybody got a story, everybody got a way. Funny how the phones go quiet when he name names. Funny how the pressure rise when he shift the conversation. He talks schools, streets, money disappearing. Backdoor deals that the public ain't hearing. Things get buried when the cameras don't roll, but the people tune in, cause Gerard let it unfold. From the jazz in the streets to the smoke in the sky, the wall and still fighting, still holding it high. And the city feels seen every time that he speak, cause the truth hit harder when it finally run deep. Now the whole town riding with the station on loud, hands high while they sing every word through the crowd. Can you feel the city breathing? Every late night conversation. Through the speakers, through the rain. Ooh, New Orleans, don't sound the same. Gerard on the radio. Whole city vibing slow. Late night lights in New Orleans glow. Everybody listen close. Gerard on the radio. Truth in the speakers for sure. From the bayou streets to the corner store. Whole city locked in. Yeah. You're now rocking with Gerard, the voice they couldn't silence. New Orleans, stand up.
There you go. And there you go. What's going on, good people? How's everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is another day in the life, boy. Another day in the life. I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, I don't know if New Orleans is real or not. With all this crap going on around this city and around this state. Been an interesting, last 24 hours. My phone been ringing off the hook because of yesterday's show. All the news reporters welcome trying to find out how we got that interview yesterday. And I just told them he just showed up. It's like we're not supposed to be getting those interviews. Didn't go to bed until late last night. And so last night when I did go to bed, I don't know what I did with my glasses. I couldn't find them today. They in my house somewhere, but I don't know what I did with them. And I had to be somewhere on time, so I ain't had time to go back. So no glasses today, so I can't see. You might have to read everything for me. And then, of course, the attorney extraordinaire not feeling her best right now. So I told her, I said, you know what? I would rather you go home and get you some rest. Because it'll be well-deserved. So she said, okay. She was reluctant to leave. I told her, go home. Go home. Live to see another day. You don't know what's going around with these folks these days. So all the judges, I'm gonna just go ahead on and start it off. But all the judges in the city of New Orleans are recusing themselves from this Liz Merrill case. Everybody's like, what? Yep. All the judges are recusing themselves from the Liz Merrill case. Ain't that something? All last one of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess if they didn't have so many of them that was getting ready to get thrown off the case or get thrown out of court, you have a couple of more to choose from. Ooh. So they're going to have to bring in somebody to judge this. So all of them have said, oh no, I recuse thyself. Why are you scared? Tell me one person. Tell me one person that does not know in the state of Louisiana who in the world Liz Merrill is. All of them know. That's one thing going on. Well, here's the other one. What happened to this boy, this young man with his friends on Horn Island? They go out on the boat to the Horn Island area. And as they come back in, Nolan Wells didn't go with them, didn't come back with them. These supposed to be your friends. So what happened to Nolan Wells is a mystery. Or are all those kids, young folks, hushing up? How did Nolan Wells die? What happened to him? Supposed to be a so-called mystery. I hope y'all paying attention to this case. The young black boy go out there on the boat to the island. Now they done bought in Benjamin Crump. Because Benjamin Crump said, no, ain't gonna be no, we left him and he got killed and we won't dare. Ben Crump said, we won't know what happened to Nolan Wells. The family members done bought in Ben Crump. So are we paying attention to this case altogether? Because this is, I think, another cover-up. That's just my opinion. I think somebody is trying to make sure that their child ain't going down for something that he or she did. Are we paying attention? Because, y'all, something stanky this. This done made world news. This just didn't make local news. This made world news that this young boy went out there on the water with his friends, with his so-called friends. And look, and they were rolling some footage on his phone because you could hear him arguing. And I'm saying to myself, somebody knows what's going on. And we need to be paying attention to what the deal is. I just don't think that it's getting the right pub right now. We're paying attention a little bit, but we're not paying all the way attention. We still trying to get over the fourth. But what is the deal with the death of Nolan Wells? And I'm trying to figure out, are you all saying who? Who? Who are you talking about? Who is Nolan Wells? Well, we're going to learn today. We are going to learn today. We're not going to let it go. Not going to let anybody sit up there and go, let me tell you this. Or somebody call in and say, you know what you talking about? I don't care about what you talking about. Don't try me today. Don't try me today. That ain't going to work. Then there's the lady with the guns waiting for you to come down I-10. Waiting to take a pop shot at you. They done arrested her. What they arrested for? Attempted murder. Because she was trying to jack your car. And supposedly she was the director of content for the two young ladies that were putting together the recall. Everybody said, say what? I said, yeah. This is who they were talking about. And the reason why one lady said, I can't trust this lady, I'm going to leave. So it's apparent to me that something's wrong with the lady. It's something apparent to me that there were some loose screws. And with these loose screws, one of the two head folks for Louisiana Deserves Better said, hey, we can't have her here. I'm not listening to her, and she can't tell me what to do. And somebody didn't agree. And she said, you know what? You know. I'm going to get on out of here and let y'all have this puppy. One day later, she in the news again. Because she's carjacking people. There was a warrant for her arrest for carjacking, y'all. And then she was driving down I-10, wrecked her car, got out of her car and stood on side the highway trying to stop people from coming down the highway. And if they didn't stop, she took a shot at them. She shot one dude. Or did she graze him? Was that a graze? I'm just looking around and saying to myself, is this who we putting our faith in to get these names and numbers? Because I thought about it and I said to myself, myself said, huh? I said, is this who we were depending on to getting these names for the recall? Is this the lady that got on social media and just started chastising folks about the recall? And this who we supposed to be listening to? So just in case you didn't know, I am not making this up. They arrested the lady. What's her last name? Habib. They arrested her. Layla Habib. They arrested her and charged her with attempted, I don't know if it was second-degree murder or was it attempted murder, because she shot somebody. She shot through the windshield when she was trying to get people to pull over and stop. She already had a daggone warrant for her arrest. Well, what was the warrant for? Carjacking. Did anybody see this lady? Did y'all see the photo of this lady? Did anybody see the photo of this lady? I'm sorry. There's a level of unstableness that can be seen without being heard. There's a level of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs that can be seen before heard. There's a level of just downright crazy that can be seen before heard. And there's a level of, I'm not following you, that can be seen before heard. There's a level of Broomhilderish. That can be seen before heard. And then the ultimate, there's a level of witchy poo that you can see. Who? Oh, witchy poo. That can be seen before heard. Now, everybody's saying it. Somebody just posted it. Don't let that stop you from signing. Don't let that stop you from signing. Make sure you sign that big old long list of names that say we need to get rid of your governor. I think I just saw the post they had up here on social media that we're like 145 days away. $145 days away. So this made me ask the question today. Are you really going to talk about these folks? I asked myself. I said, self. Self said, I said, how you going to talk about these folks? Because folks take it the wrong way when you talk about them. It's like, oh, it sounds like you against the recall. You must be a Republican. No, not a Republican. Just got some sense again. Because it's apparent to me somebody just don't have no sense. My signature going up, I know. I already signed it. Did you sign? But your governor is not calling her a volunteer, Cliff. Your governor make it sound like she was the head of the whole organization. I said, Lord have mercy. Mm-hmm. Interesting in itself. And y'all know that they gonna bask in the glory when they start talking about this lady and what she done and who she's connected to. I wonder, will we get through it? I wonder, will we stick together and say, oh, it's the cause, not the issue? I wonder, will we? What you think? 504-582-9422. Will this stop, folks? Or will you get out there and sign it? Come on, 504-582-9422 is my number. We got more coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
New Orleans never sleeps, and neither does WBOK. Now, every voice, every moment, and every show is in your pocket. Search WBOK Media wherever you get podcasts. Download, share, rate us 5 stars. Because when you support us, you amplify Black voices and the New Orleans culture.
WBOK is pleased to announce the reboot of Crosstown Conversations with host Gene Nathan. A heightened focus on cultural entertainment events and the creators who present them. The new time is now Saturday at noon. Tune into the stories of our exploding creative scene with Gene Nathan on Crosstown Conversations.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. My number 504-582-9422. Get the call in. What you say, Ryan?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
How y'all doing?
Good.
Good, man. Yeah, it's pretty disappointing, especially to those of us who've been, volunteering our time and efforts and all the hard work from, pretty much day one with this thing. And so many warnings were given about this lady. I've been dealing with her since COVID. She has the best intentions in mind, but her mind and body has been, going down that, what do you want to call it, cuckoo or whatever. Like she tries really hard, but it's consumed her. The whole, anti-fascism and all that, it's consumed her to the point where that's her whole life, and it's driven her further and further into a deep, dark hole. Any of us that have dealt with her know that and have experienced it. Her flipping on a switch on some people that have known her all their lives. And, it's very unfortunate that they're able to spin it like they are. But yes, the people at the top were warned, given evidence, given situational evidence, given hearsay. So much has been thrown back up. And then, it was unfortunate that they didn't make the decision earlier. But it's probably once the break did happen, she lost her last thread of reality, because that's all she's been living for the past 4 or 5 years, is trying to fight against what she believed to be oppression. So anybody that knows anything about mental illness knows that can, lead down to, she was probably going to get the governor, to be honest with you. I mean, knowing her, she was probably going to the Capitol with that gun and didn't care what was going to happen to her, because she had already lost her last thread of reality, like I said earlier.
So, with that being said, and you telling me what I'm picking up from what you're telling me,
yeah,
is the fact that this ain't that news has been happening.
Yes, sir.
nobody saw that as a volunteer or somebody with the organization that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Sir, yes, sir. People kept sending it up, and that's why eventually the co-chair had to quit, because the all of the evidence in front of the chair wasn't warranted, because the girl, she can, like I said, if she can turn the switch, and the switch also can be broken at the same time. But in front of the chair, Miss Miriam, she was all up, all in, always doing her best. But on the back side of it, she was flipping on people, like, basically, anybody with any kind of moderate or like middle view, she was blocking them from the access to Louisiana Deserves Better informational, platform. So, which obviously, that's absurd in itself, being that we need the signatures, and a lot of Democrats aren't going to get out there for fear of retaliation or whatnot. But there's a lot of Republicans that have vested interest in making this happen too. So by her going and basically alienating a whole block of registered voters, it was causing major issues already. All those things were being brought to the chair and co-chair, and now we're dealing with what we have right now.
So, okay, again, maybe I'm just being a little facetious in this too, but I'm looking around and saying to myself and looking at her, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs?
I mean, driven that way. I mean, the lady was a business owner in Lower Decatur. I mean, she, I don't know if any of y'all remember the Hideout before. Now it's called Antiques, but she was a community service member. Honestly, I mean, she used to take people. My boy Jimmy, who from back in the day, I call him Jimmy the Pollock, but he was a longtime patron of hers. She was a great person. She used to rent a bus every year during the summer, take all the staff and patrons to go canoeing on Boca Chica. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is just like, it's a perfect example of what happens when people go down that rabbit hole and then throw everything they have, all their mental energy, into one thing. And then also, meanwhile, she's losing her support group because she's becoming more and more mentally unstable. And also the people that are trying to support her are getting attacked, verbally, so just basically threatening. And she alienated herself through her mental illness, is what I'm trying to say. And it's pretty unfortunate. So she's not just been that way. She got turned that way because, in my opinion,
So what makes me go, again, asking the question, is because this is a new day, new age, and no matter what, the two co-chairs, they can have differences, but they got to stick together.
Yes.
Because that's just telling folks there's a problem within the ranks. And now is the time to put your foot on the neck. And I'm thinking to myself, somebody should have told them that this is what it was going to be like.
Yeah.
And to make that choice between the co-chair who left and this lady, there shouldn't have been no comparison.
Absolutely not. I mean, that tells you that the chair and co-chair already had divisional issues going on, or else it would have been a little bit easier. So then there lies the ego, I believe. And I'm not trying to down the lady. I mean, look, praise be to her for getting this whole thing going on. But yeah, do they need some a little bit better counsel around them? Yes, sir. I believe that, and I think that she's reaching out to certain people and trying to step up the offense now, especially now with everything that's going on. They're gonna have to flip it too, But like I said, I don't want to. I'm not criticizing, because I mean, far be it from me to criticize anyone, honestly, except for a bunch of I won't even go there. But it's important, and I hope that she seeks better counsel, more experienced counsel as well. I'm not talking about lawyers, but people that have dealt in this realm and clear-headed older people, get some older people involved because, they wiser. They've been around.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, well. All right, Ryan.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right.
So I'm getting a lot of folks that, okay, whatever happened between the two of them, yeah. But that shouldn't stop you from signing the recall. I agree. I agree. I'm not debating that. But I am going to say this much. Y'all know that's a deterrent, right? You all do understand that no matter how many times I agree with you and what you say about that should get you still sign the recall. With stuff like that happening, that's a deterrent that will stop people from taking part because they don't want to be associated with, okay, craziness. And I gotta say, this is I almost said it. This is stupid. Mental health is something serious. Don't get me wrong. It is something serious. But how'd you get associated with it? You couldn't see? Evidently one of y'all saw. And you two that got to stick together. Don't let somebody come in between y'all. Somebody tell me I'm wrong. Somebody tell me I'm wrong because you can't put that in between y'all. Well, why you say that, Gerard? Because both y'all's names are on the paper. Y'all the one that did the recall, not this other lady, Habib or whatever her name. She's standing in the middle of traffic shooting at folks. Come on. Is it me? And now y'all are letting, and I'm hoping that this will squash that, because it's apparent that we are letting Jeff Landry get into the conversation piece. Nah, put that piece up together for me from Fox 8. I sent you one from Fox 8. Because now what we're doing is letting Landry say that this lady was the top lady at the recall, and she was not. She was not. And he putting it out there. Now, I do put into the pieces to say, hey, wait a minute, hold on. This lady was not the top person for the recall. And he's making it sound like she was, to make it sound like it was crazy anyway. And I'm like, no, that's not true. So what do? You make sure that everybody understand that the top lady at the recall was not the one that was out there on I-10 shooting at folks and shot that man when he wouldn't daggone stop. You got it already? No? Okay. So I'm thinking to myself, what does, what's her name? Janubia? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Who is the head of the recall? Louisiana deserves better. What does she do? Now is the time to come forward and say, hold up, wait a minute, make sure that you put your foot in it. Nah, because you cannot allow this man to get the platform and start speaking on behalf of why y'all should not sign this thing. You should sign this thing because he bum stupid. And I'm thinking to myself.
Bond has said.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm thinking to myself, we have to make sure that everybody understand who's who within the ranks. And Habib, the one that was shooting this weekend, was not in the ranks. Because what we find out, and what we found out, and we've heard over and over again, is that Habib was a volunteer. You got me now? All right, go ahead.
Bond is set at $180,000 for a 63-year-old woman accused of a New Orleans carjacking and shooting along I-110, and Baton Rouge police say that Layla Habib crashed her Nissan near the right lane and then got out and started blocking traffic on foot. And one pickup driver told officers that she fired a shot in the air, then shot through his windshield as he tried to get away, causing him to crash. Police say that the bullet grazed his head, and a second driver says that she banged on his truck and even climbed into the bed. Habib now faces multiple felony charges, and that includes attempted second-degree murder. And the organizer of the recall effort against Governor Jeff Landry says that Habib worked as a volunteer social media director. And so we're told that in a statement that Habib helped in various ways, but stepped down after she was asked to remove her personal post about the recall efforts and the organization. They went on to say that Habib chose to step down days before the interstate incident, and she was concerned about Habib's behavior. She will cooperate with this police.
Okay. That's enough anyway. Everybody like, she did what? Can you imagine? Just driving, minding your own business. Honey, are you ready for Monday? Yeah, but we got to get back home, and what's going on further up the road? Have no idea. Okay, look out for him. Oh, no problem. Yeah, babe, I was talking about Monday. Is that lady stepping out in the middle of the road? You might want to slow down just a little bit. We'll just go around her. Okay. Yeah, you might want to just get around for Monday and talk about that. That lady is in the middle of the road. She is in the middle of the road, huh? Not only is she in the middle of the road, she got a gun. And she just popped one off in the air. That old lady got gray hair in the middle of the road shooting off guns on I-110. And I said to myself, so? And so said, how do you not understand that something was loose upstairs? Do you all know that when they stopped her and pulled her out of the road after she tried to carjack a guy, and this is what I want to understand, I don't understand. How this lady got in the back of your truck, in the bed of your truck? How did this 63-year-old woman get in the back of your truck? She got in the bed of the truck. What? Unless she was Superwoman, she couldn't have got in the back of my truck. Well, let me do this. You got my my Young and the Restless music. You got my Young and the Restless music. All right, let's go ahead on. We're gonna do us As Louisiana Turns. Yeah. So we've gotten to the point now within this story As we think about a 63-year-old woman, gray hair and all, running across I-10 and saying, "Stop, bitch," holding up a gun. And I probably would have said, "I'm going to take my chances on this one. She look a little old. She can't move that fast. What you going to do? You going to go around her? Hell no. I'm going to run her ass over. Everybody in the car duck. Because there's going to be some roadkill out here today. Oops. What was that bump you just hit? I don't know, but we ain't stopping. Y'all would have sent me on the news. Local radio air personality gone to jail for hit and run. And as they put me in the back of the car, the news reporter walks up to me with the microphone and just asks that one question. Why? Why did you hit her? Just why did you hit her? And the question would have been answered right then and there on the spot. She had a 9mm. She was trying to kill me. I had to unalive her. Because she was trying to hit me. And I had to stand my ground. But she's somebody's grandma. Yeah, but I'm somebody's father, and I'm still somebody's father. And she should have known better. She should have known better. What about the other folks that was driving? They was swerving and swaying. They was pushing on brakes. They was trying to get out of her way. Plus, you need to pick up that gun and see where she was shooting at other folks, too. She just couldn't shoot. And that would have been my day in court. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody. Then the social media would have probably been eat me up, though, Nyron. They would have probably, he hit somebody's grandma. I would have been like, I don't care what y'all say. Not only did I hit somebody's grandma, I probably would have daggone pushed on brakes, skid it, put it in reverse, and backed up and just made sure that I got her the first time. Boom, boom. That's all y'all would have heard. What was that? That was her underneath the car. Ain't we done had enough of that anyway? What would make you do that? And look, did y'all understand that not only did they arrest her for shooting at folks, they arrested her for attempted murder because she hit somebody through the windshield. That's number one. And then the other part of it is when they ran her credentials, when they ran her name, she had a warrant for carjacking. Hello? She experienced hood. She was a thug grandma. They like, oh, there he go calling somebody a thug. She was a thug grandma. That's the difference. She had a rap sheet. Joe did. All right, we'll take a break, y'all. 504-582-9422 is my number. More coming up in just a few minutes right here at WBOK.
Hello, friend. Tavis Smiley here with a special announcement. You can catch my show at a new time. Weekdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Same great topics, same great guests, same great conversations, just a little earlier in the day. It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays 1 to 4 p.m. only on WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about.
Life has a way of shifting priorities, changing needs, and pivoting plans. Home Bank is there for all of them. Their bankers partner with you for every step along the way, from understanding your needs to celebrating your success. Home Bank is invested in the vibrant spirit of our community and in you. So partner with them. Stop on by any banking center in the greater New Orleans area or visit home24bank.com to get started today. Good for business, good for life. Home Bank, a member of the FDIC.
Well, Saints of God, this is Pastor David Impartan Sr. coming to you over the airways of WBOK, your favorite host of Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. I want to invite you to our show every Saturday from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. That's Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. I want you to invite your family and friends to a broadcast that's designed to change your life, the way you think, the way you act, and what you eat. We want you to tune in every Saturday at 1 o'clock, WBOK, 1230 a.m. See you on Saturday.
Greetings and salutations. I am Edward B. Coulon Smith, chairman of the board of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. We'd like to invite you to tune in every Wednesday at 12 noon on WBOK to listen in on Black to Business and be a part of the movement that's going on. Thank you.
Did you hear the news? Dr. Clark's 101 The Living Classroom has a new time. Catch us now every Wednesday at noon. Same program, same great conversations. Just a new time. So catch Dr. Clark's 101 The Living Classroom this Wednesday and every Wednesday only on WBOK. What New Orleans is talking about.
If someone asks,
Yeah!
let them know you listen to WBOK.
Here we go!
The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Hoping everybody's doing all right. Hope you're having a good day. Did it storm early? It stormed a little bit. A lot of thunder. But it is supposed to be getting some type of severe weather later on. I'm hoping that it'll be at some point when everybody's at home and not during the time that you're headed home, just to make sure. My condolences going out to one of our senators, Baton Rouge senator, at the age of 44. Evidently had some health problems. State Senator Larry Selders. He died suddenly on Tuesday night. That's according to longtime family friend Collis Temple Jr. Selders, 44, was the son of football practice, was at his son's football practice, that is. He leaves behind two sons, Larry Jr. and Luke, and his wife, Kendra. Political leaders, friends, and community members quickly responded with sympathy and praise for Selders. His work as a community leader that is, and also the governor said they're deeply saddened to hear of the passing of State Senator Larry Selders. He was a gentle giant and was respected by all. He will hold him and his family in their prayers. There you go. Troy Carter, our congressman, also speaking up and saying he's deeply saddened to hear the passing of his friend, Senator Larry Selders. Larry served the people of Louisiana with integrity, distinction, and an unwavering commitment to public service. So, may he rest in peace. To Senator Larry Selders. The big issue that was announced, today for New Orleans East, Everybody talking about the development in New Orleans East. I want to say that's interesting to hear about all the development. But the one unified vision for economic development. Let me give you the story. They announced a broad economic development vision for New Orleans East, which struggled to attract businesses since Hurricane Katrina, despite a sizable population and a wealth of undeveloped land. Moreno Plan, dubbed the New Orleans East Investment and Jobs Corridor, is to lure investment tied to the NASA Michoud Assembly Facility and plans for a new port in St. Bernard Parish. And speaking at Delgado Community College, Maritime and Industrial Training Center, Moreno called it one of the biggest announcements that she's made probably in her political career. And quotes here says, we are more and larger, waiting for opportunity to come and find New Orleans East. We are preparing for it and making sure that this will be the desired site. The idea is to identify available land, fix infrastructure, sort out zoning issues, and create property investment that can be marketed to investors. She also said that luring aerospace advanced manufacturing and maritime transportation development would simulate amenities like restaurants, retail, entertainment, and residents have been long desirables to see that happen. So this is the most exciting thing that I've seen since Hurricane Katrina, says Tangi Wall, president of the New Orleans East Matters Community-Focused Economic Development Group. So I've been at the advocacy thing for 21 years, and it's hard to believe that it's taken this long for us to really get something that's transformative, a feel good about it. So here's the oxymoron for me. And I know that y'all gonna laugh. And I'm glad that somebody said, hey, we have a fixture out here that we are not taking advantage of. The fixture would be aerospace. The fixture would be NASA. So since we have this NASA facility out here, are we showing that we can expound upon it, that we can get some other folks to do different things? NASA, we can get these people to come here. We can get all these folks to start coming to this aerospace technology issue with NASA being right here. But let me ask my question before we really get into it. So we made this announcement about this development that's going to start from scratch, correct? don't we have a development that's already focused about with the family, improving your tax credits, that you can have more homes, since this is a brick and mortar community? Don't we have a development already started called Bayou Phoenix for maybe even a career changer for some folks? This is opportunity for entrepreneurs. This is an opportunity to bring in some other companies from across the country to run those different sections. What happened in this big announcement where we saw that it didn't even get mentioned? Shh. Be very, very quiet. It's rabbit season. Well, damn. Somebody give me a piece of rabbit. So we went all the way out there. I made it sound like New Orleans East is on the other side of Mississippi going to Alabama line. We went all the way out there. We didn't put people all the way in New Orleans East to say that they are the czars of New Orleans East and development, Miss Laparolery, and we didn't even say nothing. Nada. Zero. Zilch. Que sera? Sera? Not one thing? I know what it was. Y'all so crazy. I know what it was. Y'all know what it was? She forgot. She ain't even look. That's all. That's all it was. She forgot. Yeah. Purple.
Hello.
What's going on with you?
What I'm not understanding is all this promise for New Orleans East. Now, we know that this stuff may happen because it's something that's connected to the federal government, to Congressman Troy Carter, who has brought millions and millions of dollars to his district. My concern is with the mayor's office, with the two city council at large members and the council person of District E. Why aren't you all coming to explain to residents of District E, then the rest of us in the city of New Orleans, tell us something about Bayou Phoenix. Tell us why you're not supporting it. With one of the developers who lives in that district, who is a businessman, whether you like him or not. If you truly have respect for the residents of District E, who's the tax base because they're property owners, say something and do something. How is it, lastly, the city can come and have a press conference and deal with these two projects? I believe last week they're dealing with the Omni Hotel project, but yet we have a project with at least with a black person in it, and they ain't getting no attention, and still a majority black city. And thank you for allowing me to say that.
So hold on, wait. Your question is, because I heard two different requests. Your first request was you want the folks that are city council to say something about it. Why the city council? This is the mayor's project. This ain't city council project.
Well, what I'm saying about in reference to this project that the mayor is dealing with, that's good. But what's wrong with the city leadership supporting a project like Bayou Phoenix, which seemingly will benefit more people who live right in New Orleans East? Where is the transparency? That's what I'm saying.
So you want somebody to say something? Well, I'm with you. Why ain't somebody saying something?
And then
where was the councilman for New Orleans East saying something about this?
They're not.
Okay.
But yet they don't want. But yet you get phone calls after you don't know what's going on in the East. You shouldn't say nothing. Well, God dog it, I got common sense.
Mm-hmm.
You all can move for white major businesses, then move for this. And if you're not supporting it, because who knows? And it may not be the best for New Orleans East or New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's the case, you still owe us an explanation.
Mm.
And nobody's saying nothing. But the voters of New Orleans are not holding these people feet to the fire.
Mm-hmm.
But yet we want something different, but we, the voters, are still not doing anything different.
I got you. All right, Cedric.
Take care, man.
Thank you, brother. All right, we got to take a break. Donna, hold on a minute. We got to take a break here. We got to do news. We'll do the news. We'll come back. We'll have some more conversation with you, too. Everybody, especially about New Orleans East folks, get in on the conversation. 504-582-9422. More coming up.
Campus of Xavier University. WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Maine Senate candidate Graham Plattner says he's taking time to reflect after a woman accused him of sexual assault in a report published this week.
Any accusation of non-consensual behavior is categorically false.
Plattner addressed the allegation in a social media video while also reaffirming his commitment to challenging Republican Senator Susan Collins in the upcoming election. Denver Public Schools is facing a lawsuit over its voting map. A legal group claims the district redrew boundaries to preserve Black and Latino voting majorities, raising questions about the use of race in election maps following a recent Supreme Court ruling. And Grammy-winning R&B legend Peabo Bryson will be honored this week in his hometown of Greenville, South Carolina. Bryson, who died in June at age 75 following a stroke, will be remembered during a public program Friday, followed by a wreath-laying ceremony. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. That's good. Y'all heard that on the news? They're going to honor Peabo Bryson Friday in Greenville, South Carolina. That's good. I'm glad they're going to give him his flowers. That's his home. That is his home. My aunt used to love Peabo Bryson. Oh, Lord. Peabo going to be somewhere. She was going to be there. So good they're going to give him his flowers, though. All right, 504-582-9422 is my number to get in contact with me. What's going on, Dino?
Yeah, man, how she gonna claim the port in St. Bernard? That's been going on.
Wait a minute, what?
The port in St. Bernard. How's she gonna claim that?
What do you mean? How they gonna claim it?
She claimed it in her speech. The new port in St. Bernard. That's been going on. When she was
it got to go through. It got to go through New Orleans. That's where that train coming from. The train is coming from the port. From St. Bernard through New Orleans. It's got to roll through New Orleans East. It's got to roll through the Ninth Ward. That's what been part of the issue of. They call it the grain train, and they all mad. But she claiming it.
Yeah, she claiming, But I want a vision. What a vision on the paper, You can claim a vision and nothing happens.
I mean, we can claim anything and say this is what we want to do as far as development is concerned. But until you start seeing some dirt moving, I mean, that's just claiming and saying that's what it's going to be.
Yeah. But it's Bayou
By Phoenix.
They're trying to. They don't want a black man to have that. Okay, that's what that's about, Jay. You gotta start telling them how it is. They're racist. They don't want black folks to have a bite of the apple. Okay. They block them out of the French Quarter. You know, they don't want them to have a bite of the apple.
I think it's more political. I think it is political because everybody forget, I mean, Troy's made it perfectly clear, and I don't think he's backing down from anybody. He said, listen, one of the things that happened during the race for the mayor's seat, he said, I supported Oliver. And then a lot of those television commercials and all that, were directed at her from the Troy Henry camp. I don't think she forgot that. And, politics sometimes have long memories. So just got to remember all of that all that added up. And then that didn't go well with the folks in the French Quarter with the trying to get the trash contract, even though that he wanted, he didn't get it. And guess who was one of the biggest advocates? Elena Moreno for Ivy Waste.
Yeah. And he was one of the biggest. She got votes for a lot of money from Ivy Waste for her campaign.
That's why I said she's one of the biggest supporters.
Yeah.
So a lot of it had to do with politics, and it didn't help none that Nungesser and Troy got in an argument on the other station. And Nungesser had the audacity to say, as a businessman, maybe he don't need to own that. He don't need to have Bayou Phoenix. And Troy came back and told him that, well, maybe we need to change who the lieutenant governor is. So yeah. They went back and forth.
So he exposed the talk around with the white folks. That's what he did.
Yeah, but my whole point is, you know what, you got to have, and I'm not talking bad about anybody, but you got to have the support of the people. You got to have the support of the people that are going to go out here and say, hey, you didn't say anything about Bayou Phoenix and the support for it. I'm trying to figure out, did anybody hear anybody at that press conference disagree with the community, with them saying, hey, this is what we're going to do? Did anybody disagree? No. So, guess what? We allow them to come in and just say and do whatever they want to do.
Yep. You don't speak up.
So I can put all this money into what we say, putting it out there for the beach, Lincoln Beach, was supposed to be what, $29 million? But the word is we can't find that money. That's what the word is. I don't know if that's the truth or not, but if they can't find it, then we can talk about it all the time and cheer it on all the time. But how much money are we putting into this redevelopment of New Orleans East? What scares me about this, all right, here it is, Donald. This is going to make everybody go, that might make sense. What scares me about this redevelopment, and when we do redevelopments here in New Orleans, redevelopments in New Orleans have always shown me push a nigger out. Push him out. That's what redevelopments have always shown me. We come back. But when you're doing something new, we push them out, and then they become gentrified.
Yeah.
That scares me a little bit because where else Negroes got to go? And pushed you out all the way to the east in the lower Ninth Ward. Where you going to go next?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well. We'll see.
I hear you.
All right, my brother.
All right.
Talk to you in a minute. Galloway.
What's going on, Brother Gerod?
You the man.
Nah, man. I had better days, man. First of all, before I talk about what happened in Mississippi, you were spot on. Redevelopment equals black people out. Lower the property value. Gentrification comes in. Transplants come in. They take over and act like they are locals. That's been happening in New Orleans since Hurricane Katrina, and Helen Moreno is the final piece on the chessboard. I'm going to smile in y'all face. I'm going to tell it's for you, and knowing you can't afford it, because if you look at the wage gap in New Orleans, black people can't afford the stuff that they're trying to do. They intentionally trying to make stuff extremely high so we can't afford it, and they won't be able to give you a loan. So that's my piece on that. But what happened in Mississippi, Gerard, I'm telling you, this shook me to the core. And this should be a wake-up call to any black parent that has a black son or daughter who decides to go out with somewhat of a diverse crowd.
Yep.
I say somewhat of a diverse.
Yep.
Y'all, a lot of y'all got y'all kids getting ready to go to PWI, that's primary white institution colleges. It happens there quite a bit also. I was always taught as a young man from my mother and father, don't you ever go nowhere when you're the only black person.
Mm-hmm.
Something will happen to you, and they will come together and circle the wagon and make you responsible for your own death. That's what's happening right down there in Ocean Springs, Mississippi.
Yep.
On Horn Island. Now, Horn Island is a federal island. I don't understand why the feds have not stepped in. You let the Jackson County Sheriff Department take over this investigation. You know who's a chancery judge in Jackson County?
Who's that?
The stepmother of one of the white boys that was on the boat. How is that not a conflict of interest?
Yep.
My son was on that boat with his friend, quote unquote friends, and with friends like that, you don't need no enemies. There's no way you go somewhere and only thing you can say, I don't know what happened. He said he was gonna get a ride back with somebody else. Who is that person that he told you he's gonna get a ride back?
And you had his phone.
Identify that boat. And
you
you had his phone.
All right.
His mama had to use the My Phone app to find the phone. Now, I don't know what happened out there. I don't know why they went out there. It's none of my business. But I know when you're dealing with them folks down in Mississippi, they circle the wagons. Because the stepmom's a judge and the father and his father's a doctor.
And the majority of, I going to say, the majority of those that were on that boat, their parents are in prominent positions as far as their jobs are concerned.
So you think they're going to let them go down over a black person?
Judge, another politician. No, they ain't going down like that.
No. And the sheriff Ledbetter, I'm telling you, Jackson County, that sheriff department is if you think what happened in Slidell was bad with that sheriff over there getting to choose his felony, they had a sheriff before Ledbetter. The sheriff was convicted on 31 felonies. He's dead now because of COVID killed him. Mike Bird was his name. He has 31 felonies. You know they let that man stay on a home on house arrest? That's the type of corruption that you got down there. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm telling the parents or anybody that know the parents, you going to have to fight like Wanda Cooper Jones did. These people going to give you this long, sad speech about how this, that, and third happened, because all they've been pointing to is an accidental drowning. That's all they've been pointing towards to. But you have to fight. You have to take on district attorneys. You have to take on these police investigations. You have to organize like Beulah McDonald did. If y'all don't know who Beulah McDonald was, her son was lynched in 1981 in Mobile, Alabama, and they told her that he was killed by drug dealers. Mm-hmm. Come to find out, he was lynched by the Ku Klux Klan. She organized. She marched. She got involved with civil rights organizations. And I'm sick and tired of the NAACP and Urban League making posts. How about you get somebody down there and you watching and monitoring and see what's going on? Because there's no way in the world my son goes out there with 3 people. All of them people come back and mine doesn't, and nobody can remember nothing. You had hundreds of people out there and nobody knows nothing.
And did you hear the social media posts where they were arguing?
Yes, see that too. And I keep telling black people, hey, you on the wrong place. You out there in the water. They got the boats. You out there, but I think I want to say, if I'm wrong, somebody correct me. I didn't see no more than 10 black people out there. And you got hundreds of folks out there. Them folks been and did something to y'all, and as you can see now, ain't nobody talking. Them folks, the mama, she made them either shut down their social media or make it private, and they lawyered up. If you did nothing wrong, why are you lawyering up? So this is a dangerous time that we living in.
Mm-hmm.
All this condolences and showing of love and this and that. No, find out what happened to my child.
Right.
Because it can be your child next. These people don't care. I'm gonna tell folks again. There's a little racist hit part of Mississippi because I went to college in Mississippi, so I know quite well about that.
Mm-hmm.
But them people do not care if they take one of y'all out. One of somebody that look like me. Because if you notice, with all these kids with cell phones, all these kids going live and all this stuff that they always do, why you never see no live footage of what's going on out there? We getting bits and pieces of videos and still pictures now. You mean to tell me that this?
I just think it's too much. It's too many parties. It was too much drinking. These kids were out there on break. Something happened to this one child. They're talking about all those kids that were out there. That's one child. Something happened to him. Why is that?
Hey, none of them explain it.
Not one child can explain it. Not one.
Because you know why? They can't explain it, Gerard.
But they stick together.
Not only stick together, that judge, she done told all them people that was on the boat, you ain't gonna say nothing to nobody.
Do not say nothing. Anybody ask you anything, say you don't know.
I'm telling you.
But how'd you get his phone?
That's the $1 million question. How did you get this man's phone? But you don't know where he was at. You don't know what happened. You supposedly walked away with, and I'm not afraid to say this. Somebody seen that boy walking with them white girls. And they don't like stuff like that. You got to remember where you at. Mississippi now.
Yep.
And they know. They know there's no cell phone signal out there. And it's not a remote island. It's only like 10 miles from the shore.
I've been out there
it's
before.
Good enough. Yeah, it's good enough where your boys can't come out there and get you. They got to have a boat to come get you.
Yep.
This case is rotten to the core, and I don't believe that this family is going to get justice if they waiting on the Jackson County Sheriff Department to give them justice.
Well, they done brought in Ben Crump too, so I'm hoping that Ben can make some leeway. I don't have all the details of what he's going to do, but anytime Ben come in, it's for the civil part of it.
Yes, and that's another thing. Like you said, they was partying. So most likely alcohol and drugs was involved, which those boys, now their system is clean, or she done made them get their system clean. Liability for the insurance and all that stuff, they don't want to be sued.
Nope.
They don't want to have no civil suit against them. So that's why they didn't lawyer it up. Now, the woman, her name is Ashley, the judge, the chancellor judge, she put out that statement and talk about, my son was interviewed by the sheriff department. Well, what did your son say? What did they ask him? Because all this stuff was talking about him getting a ride with somebody else. Not one person out there that had a boat said, hey, he was supposed to ride back with me. Not one person. So I'm begging people, talk to your children, especially the ones that's getting ready to go off to college.
Right.
Because this is a dangerous time. Because if you don't believe that it will happen, you got other places where cases have happened where at least those people have been charged in South Carolina and St. Louis where they didn't lured black people in. 16-year-old boy in South Carolina, he got killed by a 16-year-old white boy, him and his friend. And the mother and the father of the white boy, they got charged too because they tried to hide the evidence. Them folks worked together. Total 5 people got arrested. The one in St. Louis with a young black girl, they lured her into the woods. They beat her to death in the back of the trunk of a car. Then they shot in her head. 4 of them got arrested. So y'all better talk to y'all kids and y'all better tell y'all children, carry something. Because it's either fight or fight if you decide to put yourself in a situation where you're the only or y'all a few black people out there.
Yep.
They ain't playing. All right, my brother, thanks for taking my
phone call.
All right,
Galloway. Well, holla. All right, y'all. Everybody hold on. Cedric, hold on. We coming back. We got to take a break here. We'll come right back, have some more telephone calls. Get yours in, too, at 504-582-9422. More coming up next.
It's off the top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
As America celebrates our 250th birthday, I continue to reflect not only on where we are, but how we got here. Like millions of Americans, I am deeply proud of this nation. Make no mistake about it, I am proud to be an African American, and I am equally proud to be an American. And those two identities are not in conflict. They strengthen one another. Yet I worry that the story being told about our nation's founding has become too narrow, a move by some to erase or whitewash our history. It sometimes suggests that the birth of American freedom belonged to only one people, one culture, or one experience. History tells us something far richer and far more diverse. From the earliest days of the struggle for independence, African Americans, indigenous people, and immigrants stood beside the colonists in the fight for liberty. Some fought as freemen, others fought while still enslaved, believing that the ideals proclaimed in 1776 would one day include all of us. Historian Henry Louis Gates Jr. has documented the indispensable role of people of African descent played in the Revolutionary era. Retired Lieutenant General Russell Honoré has likewise reminded audiences that the Continental Army drew strength from people of many backgrounds. That truth should not make any American uncomfortable. It should make every American proud. Because the foundation of this republic was never built by one race alone. It was built by people of different colors, cultures, languages, and faiths who shared a common belief that freedom was worth fighting for. America's strength has never come from uniformity. It has come from people of different races, cultures, and faiths choosing to build one nation together. That is our history, that is our promise, and that is the America worth celebrating. This is Norman Robinson, Off the Top.
Norman Robinson is back.
Can you hear me now?
And he's taking no prisoners.
Can you hear me now?
Each weekday, Norman Robinson brings you commentary with Off the Top.
The incident was shocking, disturbing, disgusting, disappointing, and sad.
Each weekday, Off the Top with Norman Robinson is heard exclusively right here. It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM. Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks. We right back at you. Cedric, you still with me?
Hey, Gerard, how you doing, brother?
Thank you, brother, for holding on. I'm sorry it took so long.
Man, just keep up the great work, bro, because, man, you got it coming from everywhere. The only thing I had to say, and y'all spoke on a little bit, was Bayou Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we crying about Bayou Phoenix, and we know they gave it to the wrong people? Ain't that
You kind of sounded like your lieutenant governor, boy. You sounded like your lieutenant governor.
Look, because see, if the other boy would have he got a whole bank in Baton Rouge. He got a bank called B Bank. You understand? B Bank in Baton Rouge. He got a big old building. You know, he made money. Man, go sit down somewhere. Let that man have that. We can't have it.
Yes, indeed.
That's what's sad. That is a shame, brother. But man, just keep up the great work. And man, when you have Sister Suzette on there, man, y'all really be cutting up.
Well, she was going to be here today. I told her to go home. I told her to go home today because we could hear that she was starting to get a little bit under the weather. So I know she got court in the morning. And I told her, I said, you know, this is a big case that she's working on. I'm not going to tell her case, but she's working on a very big case, and that's been going on, and it's for the kids. So everybody can probably know what I'm talking about. I wouldn't tell y'all that's the Kennedy case. But she's been working on that for a long period of time, and I don't want her to miss what she has to present tomorrow. She's been working on it too long for, you know, being under the weather to be the cause.
Yeah. That's you know, like people that are serious doctors or medical people, people that are lawyers, and you know, sometimes people that's hard work, dude.
Yeah.
Man, like me, if your machine ain't working, I just say, well, it ain't working right now. I go sit down somewhere. I'll figure it out later. But sometimes when you're in the medical field and also in the legal field, you have people's hands or lives. Sometimes people's lives get disrupted, and sometimes people never come back for it. And sometimes when you find real lawyers that are passionate, and it's a lot of them, they're really trying to help people. They can overwork themselves and forget about themselves.
And I would guarantee you that she would be in that category.
Also.
Huh?
And you in that number too, bro.
Yeah, well, you know what? I have, and I'm going to be honest with anybody that asks me, I have learned so much for being in that law firm, being in that office, and putting together cases and doing the research. And one of the things that I've learned, one of the things I tell you what I do, you know, it's a little bit different than anybody else. When we have a case, especially if it's an older adult, I'm going to meet them somewhere. I'm trying to go by their house, by their apartment, sit down in their neighborhood so they can tell me and explain to me what's going on. I'm bringing my computer or my ledger so I can take all the notes and put everything in the computer. I'm going to do the running so that they don't have to. And I'm doing that with several cases. Now, I think it makes me a little bit different than what we see. Oh, God, this is going to sound terrible. It drives me crazy to see these folks that are lining up at these law firms that don't give a damn about you. And there's plenty of them. The majority of them, I would say, are the ones that's on the air in the morning.
Yeah.
And they're all over the television. And I'm like, they don't care about you. They just want to go ahead on and settle your case. Shoot. Yeah. Bagnaris ain't scared to try a case quick, fast, and in a hurry. Let's go in the courtroom. Yeah. You know? And I'm looking like some of these folks really don't understand that because you're seeing those big numbers. That is not true all the time. Majority of the time, those big numbers. Yeah. Oh, I got 800,000. I got 2 million. That's
yeah.
If they got 2 million, somebody got really hurt. If you got 850,000, something happened on your body that is maybe not correctable. I
always be saying, man, what kind of surgery happened to you?
Right. I mean, you know, now we have a couple of them too. Don't get me wrong. We had a couple of them too. But I will tell you this, you know, I ain't calling no names because I think it's disrespectful if I told you this and called the names. But one of them died. That's why we started looking at how much this is going to be, you know, because one of them got killed. It was unfortunate, and it was friends of a lot of folks here, and it messed some folks up. It messed some folks up. But, you know, all of those, we got 7 million here, 10 million here, 20 million. It happens every once in a while. But that's not every day. And I think that folks that see that, I think that's false advertising. That's number one. And then us, do you understand that black folks are the most likely or the folks that's going to run to these white attorneys for them to sue somebody?
It's like that we're gullible. It's like right now, that the insurance thing where burial insurance. Who own all those commercial black folks? I think we're somewhat gullible in ways, and we don't spend our money
It's a lack of
wisely.
knowledge.
All
It's
kind of
a
stuff.
lack of knowledge and believing everything you see,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that continued advertisement of, oh, get this one, and they got little slogans, and they got all these different. The only television commercial that I saw on television that I really like, I like the fact. Well, no, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna be quiet. Yeah, I'm not even gonna say it. So, but I will tell you this: some of them folks, that's not true. Not every day, every way. That's not true. And they promoting it, and I think it is interesting that the Bar Association lets them do it. So I leave it
Who's the
alone.
Bar
Cedric.
Association made up of?
Yeah, well, they got a whole lot of money because we run into them every single day, and we be sitting there going like, they sure don't support us.
Yeah.
That's okay. We got plenty of cases right now, so I'm gonna leave it alone.
Say, Gerard, keep up the great work, man.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Thank you, Cedric.
Look, and look, we don't forget you to, what was the thing? All my kids with Teen Summit?
Yep.
You was a Teen Summit, man. So look, if you was doing something, 30 years ago and you was young now, oh, man, you kicking butt right now, bro. Keep up the great work, man.
Now, we're gonna keep it up. I got a little arthritis now, though, but that's okay.
We all got a little something.
Yep. All right, Cedric. Talk to you, buddy.
Care, man.
Eric.
God bless you, good brother. How you doing?
Good, my brother. How you doing?
Good.
I forgot to tell you it was good to see you at church, man. It was good to see you at church.
It was always blessed to see you, man. But it's church or somewhere out in the community, you know that.
Yes, indeed. What you got?
Yeah. Are you familiar with the Gerard J. Jackson case in Michigan?
No.
Okay. I saw it on YouTube, and I'm reading it also from the internet. A 28-year-old black man from Illinois, he was found dead in a wooded area near Rothbury, Michigan on June the 30th, 2026, after attending the Electric Forest Musical Festival. Jackson traveled to Michigan from Illinois in a rental truck with a group of friends who were reported to be white males. Following an alleged dispute at the campsite on the morning of June 29th, Jackson left the venue alone, leaving his phone, personal belongings behind. And later, again, they found him to be dead, and they're claiming it was suicide. But the family, of course, said he has no history of mental illness. So this sounds basically the same of what happened in Mississippi also. So that's Gerard J. Jackson, and this happened in Michigan.
Well, there's one thing for certain, and I think that every woman and every male under the sound of my voice can say that. And that is, black folks do not leave their phones with folks. It's very seldom, unless it is your cousin, your mother, and you coming right back to it. We got to have our phones.
Yeah.
We're the ones, if I had to think about it, we'll buy a cell phone quicker than investing into your college. We will spend $1,200-$1,400 on a new iPhone before we put together some type of agreement to say I'm gonna put this money into a college account.
Right. Yeah.
We will make sure that your phone is on and can work quick, fast, and in a hurry. And some folks will be like, I do that. You pay me something, my phone bill. And some of us will get phone bills that cost like car notes.
Oh, yeah. Big investments.
Just making sure that we got a phone.
Right.
Now, we don't own no phone companies that I know of. We haven't really said, okay, I want to build my own cell phone and get everybody to get the cell phone that I know of. But we are developing all the components that go into some of these things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But as far as who's making them and who's marketing them, ain't none of us.
Right. Exactly.
So we got to have them. Hell, what's the first thing your child asks for when you're 6 and 7 years old? Daddy, mama, can I have a cell phone? We're training our kids. Now, on the other hand, let me make sure that I clarify this before somebody be waiting at the door for me to leave. Some of us want our kids to have a cell phone just for what we talking about right now. So you won't get in no trouble. So you don't get nobody wanting to beat you up.
Right.
And so you'll be able to call 911 when it's eligible, when you need it.
Right. Right.
Now, my question is, in these cases that we're talking about, how come 911 was not called?
Yeah. Yeah. These people are literally left for dead, and there was no 911 called. Exactly.
So, I mean, this young man here that you're talking about, it would seem to me that if he was in some type of issue or in some type of mental health state, I guess my question is why they didn't help him.
Mm-hmm. Well, they claimed they were, supposedly they were in dispute, and the same thing happened in Mississippi. They claimed there was a dispute. So it seemed like these stories are sounding awfully alike.
So they were having a dispute?
Right, and both of them, Nolan and this brother Jackson, both of them ended up dead after the dispute.
So
and,
let's call it what it is, Eric. That ain't no dispute. That's straight up murder.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, a dispute is me disagreeing with you, and then we move on about our business. This must have ended up being about a brawl, and then I just have the capacity to say, I'm going to take you out. Now, I'm not only going to let you disagree with me, I'm going to kill you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. In both cases, suicide was the authorities came with the suicide was the cause of death in both these cases. And
I guess the worst part about that is them folks, I'm going to say them folks, that don't even sound good, but I guess somebody done told somebody, don't you say a word, let's stick together. And they stick together.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
If that was us, well, we would have been standing out there on the street on the 5 o'clock news. What happened? Well, see, what happened was we be telling everybody.
Right.
I ain't had nothing to do with it, right? But I need to let you know, I'm going to point him out. There he is over there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We don't stick together. Not saying that you should stick together when somebody said they killed somebody. Because guess what? You could be next.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. So.
But these individuals, these young brothers and sisters, they need situational awareness of where they are, who they're going with, knowing the history of these people, and how they may not come back alive if they're the only ones amongst, non-blacks. Things are happening. It's not being racist. It's just stating the facts of what's going on, historically and to today.
Let me ask you a question, and this is going to sound really stupid, but it ain't stupid. So, do you have any white friends that you can go on vacation with that you trust?
No, I don't have any.
Nope.
Not saying anything against them. I'm just saying I don't have any.
Why not?
Majority of my time is spent in the black community.
Wait a minute, say it again.
I said the majority of my time is spent in the black community.
Yeah.
And,
but you don't have none? Not one?
No.
Come on, bro. You got to have one.
I have anything against them. I'm saying that just hadn't happened. It's not like I've set out not to have any, but I just don't have any, So.
But, okay, I got that, but I'm asking you why.
The closest I would come to whites would be at work. And, a lot of times people at work don't really socialize after work.
All right. Has there ever been a time, and look, I'm not painting you as anything, Eric. Me and you go back too far for me to get into a issue with you. But has there ever been a time that person that may be of a different ethnicity as you, have you ever invited them to come over your house and spend some time with you, or come eat dinner?
No,
No?
and hadn't happened the other way either. So,
how about go to church?
Church? No, not church either. No.
Concerts?
No concerts either. I can't say so.
Never crossed your mind either, has it?
Not really. I mean,
but I'm making a point. I'm
if
gonna
it
tell you what the
happens,
point is in a minute.
It might be a point. If it happens, it happens. It doesn't happen, doesn't happen. I'm not going out of my way one way or the other, So. Yeah.
And you know why I'm asking these questions?
Mm-hmm.
Because more than likely you're no different than the majority of us that are listening to this program and me ask you these questions right now.
Mm-hmm.
No different. I'm not painting you as anything. I don't want you to think that, but you're probably in the same boat as everybody else. And I can tell you where it comes from. It's not on top of your mind. It's nothing that you think about on a daily basis. You're not trying to make any new friends. I don't try to make any new friends. If you do, that's your business. But I'm trying to tell you that the majority of the folks that are probably listening and saying, I'm just like Eric, don't trust those folks.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that ends up being the case. We don't trust them.
Mm-hmm.
And now you keep
very nice
hearing
people at work, Right. I met some very nice people at work, but just a lot of times it just doesn't go beyond work.
Yep, and look, I'm with you on
reasons,
that. But just because I think you're nice at work doesn't necessarily mean that I trust you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's something to think about. The whole trust issues. So I'll have to look at that trust issue more. But up to this point in time, it just hadn't happened. And I can always look at it and see why. But like I said, if it happens, it happens. Doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And just keep it moving. And that's how they basically deal with it.
And I've always thought about, you know what? I guess this means you end up being your own. You being hanging out with your own.
Yeah, that happens, and but it's interesting looking at blacks and other groups, other races, and how blacks get along with other groups and other races and ethnic groups.
All right, here's another one for you.
Okay.
Eric, man, I ain't call you for all this today.
What's that now?
I said Eric probably sitting up there saying, I ain't call you for all this today.
Oh.
All right, here we go. You hear us talking about New Orleans East.
Uh-huh.
You heard them talking about new development. Did that make you have great thoughts about New Orleans East and the new development, or did it make you think, uh-oh?
Yeah, well, I've always had the perspective, because whether it's going to be in New Orleans or any other city throughout the United States, anytime we talk about urban renewal or redevelopment, that means blacks will get gentrified out of there, because they're not trying to build things up to be nice and pretty for the black community. They're trying to move you out of there so they can take advantage of the resources and situations.
And I think that is a daggone shame that the majority of us look at it and say the same thing.
Oh, yeah. To me, you got to always be skeptical and cynical about what's being laid in front of you, because politicians were laid they did the best thing since sliced bread, and this new project is going to be the best thing since sliced bread. Bread is going to be peaches and cream. To me, you got to be very cynical and skeptical about that, because why are they trying to help blacks out all of a sudden? Because historically that hasn't happened. So and then historically that hasn't happened in New Orleans or any other city. So you have to be very skeptical and plan for that accordingly.
I never forget. I was this was many years ago. I was with Linda Lewis and a couple of other folks when her offices were on Washington Avenue, across from, I think, right across the street from the cemetery. And we were just basically doing the broadcast from her offices.
嗯 哼
And I was looking out the window, 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 and I was loo afterwards. And I said, Linda, I said, come here. She's like, what? I said, look out the window. What you see?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, oh, baby, that's been going on. And there was like 3 or 4 white people walking down Washington Avenue with grocery bags.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And Linda looked at me and she started laughing. I said, you know what that means. They get ready to gentrify this area. And they're going to put in the bike lanes and all this other stuff. She said, yep, it's coming.
That's what's happening. Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, that's exactly, you know. So they're going to probably have some nice bike lanes coming up in New Orleans East, and so you got to look out for that. They're going to have some nice bike lanes and, who knows, dog parks and everything else.
There you go.
Kitten parks for kittens and
kitty
puppies
parks
and everything else.
for the dog. They're putting a dog park before they put it in a playground for the kids.
Right, exactly.
All those empty buildings off of not Reed.
You got Lake Forest,
Crowder,
over
by Crowder. They got all those. Remember those car lots, those car areas where they used to keep all. Where you used to have Car Central out there, and they had all those different car dealerships, and they left those lots and those buildings out there. Plus, they left a couple of other stores on. I think they didn't they go away from the Walgreens or some other stores out there too. Watch what happens. Just watch what happens.
You got a lot of office space out there. You got a lot of empty shopping centers on Lake Forest.
Yep.
Just sitting there, you know, Morris and just.
And one of the things that I always wanted to see happen, and I wondered when it was going to happen. Now I know what's going to happen. That old Schwegman's on Bullard. That old that Napa Auto Parts or toy store out there off of Bullard in that shopping center. All those pod sites out there off of Bullard. We're getting ready to see all of that shopping center over there where the what was that store over there? The Max store or whatever that was. I don't know if it was TJ Maxx or some other store. All those stores, they're getting ready to be filled up again.
Yeah.
And I really do feel we've seen it happen reverse one time before, because they told me right when I got here that area by NASA and all of that was mostly white.
Okay.
And then they had the black people that started moving out there, so we saw white flight. Now, with redevelopment getting ready to happen, I think, in my personal opinion, we're getting ready to see a reverse.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's a nationwide thing. You know, D.C. used to be called Chocolate City. Now D.C. is less than 50. I think it's like 47% black now. It's no longer Chocolate City.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Atlanta, the city limits itself is no longer majority black.
Atlanta got so much construction going on. I'm like, you can't go one street without there running into some type of construction. So
Right.
All right.
All right, good brother. Appreciate the conversation.
Good talking to you,
Check out that Jack. Check out the Michigan.
I'll take a look at it. I will.
Yeah.
All right, my friend.
Then. Take care.
Thanks. All right, y'all. We got more coming up. We got to take our final break, and we'll come back with more in just a minute. Right here on WBOK. Everybody, hold tight.
AURN News.
A shift in the Middle East as President Donald Trump officially declares the U.S.-Iran ceasefire agreement is completely over.
To me, I think it's over. I don't want to deal with them anymore. They're scum. You know what scum is? They're scum. They're sick people. They're led by sick people. And they're vicious, violent people. And if they had a nuclear weapon, they'd use it. As far as I'm concerned, it's over.
Speaking at the NATO summit, Trump branded ongoing diplomatic negotiations as a waste of time. The sudden collapse comes after After a rapid 48-hour cycle of violence, it began when Iran allegedly attacked commercial tankers in the Strait of Hormuz, prompting the U.S. to revoke critical Iranian oil licenses. Then the situation developed into major military strikes. U.S. forces hit over 80 targets in Iran, while Tehran retaliated by bombing U.S. military assets in Kuwait and Bahrain. Trump is warning more strikes are coming tonight, swearing that Iran broke a promise to never build nuclear weapons. For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
This is Monica Pierre along with Sally Ann Roberts Daybone, co-host of Your Power is On.
Tune in Sunday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. for music that feeds the spirit. Get your Sunday on.
Right here on WBOK 1230 a.m. and WBOK1230.com, the station you listen to all day long.
We are the rhythm of the streets.
The flavor in every dish.
The story in every song.
We are New Orleans Tourism and Cultural Foundation.
We help artists build the future of New Orleans.
Because when the culture thrives, our people thrive.
Every note, every brushstroke, every dish is a door opening new possibilities for those who carry our traditions forward. And when we open that door, the whole city moves forward. For New Orleans Tourism and Cultural Foundation, culture is our open door.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
WBOK is pleased to announce the reboot of Crosstown Conversations with host Gene Nathan. A heightened focus on cultural entertainment events and the creators who present them. The new time is now Saturday at noon. Tune into the stories of our exploding creative scene with Gene Nathan on Crosstown Conversations.
Uptown, downtown, wherever you are, keep it locked in to WBOK.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. A couple of minutes here before we get out and call it a day for Wednesday. Hoping my cohort in crime is going to be feeling better tomorrow. Suzette wasn't feeling good today, so I told her, I want you better, so go head on home and take something to get rid of that stuff. The last few minutes here that I have, I want to go over this story and maybe bring a different light to it. And it says that all 12 New Orleans judges in the city of New Orleans recused themselves from the Attorney General Liz Merrill's intimidation case. They recused themselves. All 12 criminal court judges in New Orleans recused themselves Wednesday from Attorney General Liz Merrill's bombshell indictment, leaving it to the Louisiana Supreme Court to appoint an outside judge over a case that stayed last week. District Judge Angel Harris was randomly allotted the case, held a brief morning hearing to remove herself, and in the remaining 11 judges followed suit with recusal orders on their own. Chief Judge Juana Maureen Limbaugh then wrote a letter to the Louisiana Supreme Court informing the court of the recusals and asked justices to appoint an ad hoc judge over the case. I'm not an attorney, and I don't try to play one on the radio. But who in the world, in the law field that we are playing with, all the judges from all 64 parishes, who don't know Liz Merrill? Did we just punk out by recusing ourselves? I don't think y'all hang out. I don't think y'all go for drinks. I don't think that y'all are, covering babysitting duties. So all 12 of you all recused yourself from this case? Because of what? That you know what it is? Because it's Orleans Parish? Because you're black? Why did you recuse yourself? Because what's going to happen here is this ad hoc judge is going to come from a more conservative part of the state, going to come from a conservative background, going to probably have Republican type of incentives to drop all the charges. That's one thing. The other thing, too, that I wanted to throw into this case is that we really need to be paying attention to who brought this case to light in the first hand. Have you all noticed that anytime we start talking about this, I don't hear those folks saying, this came from your mayor. So I'm hoping that this don't become a slap the people and then hide your hand and let us receive this in full blast like it's our fault. No. Yes, you got to stand up, but don't stand up and then go running down the street and hiding behind everybody else. This was your baby. You got to birth this baby and then put them on the tit. What you gonna do? And I'd love to start hearing from you all about, okay, this is what we're gonna do, because y'all giving that lady hell. She going through hell. She may not act like she going through hell, but I heard Laura Canizero Rodriguez say the other day, this is so embarrassing for New Orleans. Is it? Or is it embarrassing for Liz Morrell? Or is it embarrassing for you and your dad because y'all came from her? Who is it embarrassing for? They may be playing those games with who's going to supply what and who's going to get what did Jeff Landry say? He called us kangaroo courts. We'll see. But it's interesting to me that you all walk away from this and leave it up to somebody else. Why would you all want to leave this up to somebody else to come into this city and take charge of this? This one, I wouldn't want to leave up to somebody else because y'all going to get in trouble. Just watch. Y'all going to get in trouble. Watch. With that being said, I'm going to get out. I'm going to get out and give it a day. But I'm looking at this case. I hope y'all are watching it too, because there's more ramifications behind this that are coming. And I don't know what they are yet, but I can best bet, baby, that's going to be some harsh mess. So I hope you're prepared, and I'm hoping that we are watching. All right? Y'all have a great rest of the day. I will see you on tomorrow. Get you ready for Thursday. All right? Y'all be careful with these storms, too. They coming through banging. All right, y'all. Be good.